Hello beauties, how are you all doing? We're doing another To Buy or Not to Buy today where we talk about new makeup. And I'm gonna do this eye look or this look with the Nightmare Before Christmas collection from Melt Cosmetics. If that sounds good to you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Let's go into the video. Okay beauties, as always I have some hot coffee here. I have my candle today is this one. It's pumpkin scented candle black wax, and it has black wax, and I'm gonna turn it on right now. And as you heard in the intro, let me quickly turn this candle on. But as you heard in the intro, we are going to be using this beauty. So this is Melt Cosmetics' Nightmare Before Christmas collection. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the photos that I posted. So I received this collection earlier this week, and I know I had mentioned I'm not going to talk about the new stuff that I've purchased, which is why you're not hearing those things anymore in these videos. But I decided to use this, which is why I'm talking about it. So I'm going to use the mirror, we have the palette, and also these beautiful lip stuff. Love the packaging. And then maybe I'll put some highlighter, and then of course there's also these two gel liners, and we know I'm not a gel liner person, but hey, maybe we'll see how things go. Also beauties, I quickly want to show you, because the inside of this is also super cute, and I didn't realize this bag is very nice. I mean, the hardware says Melt, and this part of it has a photo of Sally and Jack. Hopefully that shows. Oh, and let me also quickly show you my nails, because of that, my nails is also Nightmare Before Christmas. Also beauties, quickly mentioning that throughout October I'm doing 31 days of fall makeup looks as reels on my Instagram. I'm also videoing the process of making these looks that I'm thinking about releasing as shorts. Write in the comments below if you want me to release them as shorts, just so I know if you're interested in seeing how I made the looks. But I'm doing a lot of different looks, and I'm using all of the different palettes that, you know, old and new. So definitely add me on Instagram if you don't have me. I'm having a lot of fun there. Sephora sale beauties is starting on the 27th, and it's gonna go until the 6th, and you know how it is. It's the same as always. First week is for Rouge, second week is for VIB, and third week is gonna be for Insiders. So it's not gonna be anything new, it's the same kind of concept. But I would be curious to see what they have on sale during this time, and if you're curious like me, you can go check out, maybe Sephora has already announced the sales, like the details. Usually they also have a lot of their own brand stuff available on 30% off sale. That is another thing that I'm interested in, because I've heard amazing things, for example, about their lipsticks. Now, I have no need for lipsticks, beauties, which is why I've never purchased anything from Sephora from the lipstick stuff, but it is something I'm curious about. Kicking us off with this one. And I beauties mentioned to you all, I don't think I ever got to talk about the inside of this palette, but I know I mentioned that I'm very interested to know what they have, and it could be something that I would be picking up. This released, I believe, yesterday. I know it's already available because I went on their website yesterday night and I was like contemplating buying the whole collection. I think part of the aesthetic for me is the cat on the inside cover, because you all know how much I love cats. Well, if you've been watching this channel for some time. The only thing, well, there's a few things I don't like about this palette. Number one is the matte black, because to me, if there's a matte black in a palette, I'm going to consider that palette as a 15 pan, because I don't see myself using the matte black. The other thing, beauties, I do want to mention, there is going to be a mystery gift coming in this collection if you buy it, and the collection is available for pre-order. The whole thing is around $200. The palette's called the Twisted Tea Party, and if you want to buy the whole collection, it's gonna come with obviously the palette, which if you just want to buy the palette separately, it's like $84-ish. There's gonna be Hollow Dream highlighter, multichrome hand pressed singles. I think there's 4 of those. there's going to be an empty palette, which I'm guessing you can put the singles in, multichrome singles, and matte singles. I have no idea how many of these there is. You can go on the website and figure it out, but it's going to be coming with a bunch of other things. It's not just the palette. Also, beauties, don't forget to use someone's code. You can get 10% off or more with Ensley Rain. Let's also talk a little bit about Baby Bat Beauty that has come out with these lip stuff. This is also available, and I don't have a price, but you know, you're gonna have lipsticks, you're gonna have pressed glitters, and you're gonna have a liquid liner. That blue thing is a liquid liner, Witch's Brew. I mean, this is adorable in my mind. You all know, because I've been showcasing it in the eye looks that I've done, that I have a lot of colorful, well, maybe not, you don't know that I have a lot, but I do have a lot of colorful lipsticks that I'm still trying to go through. And I did receive a few in past years, mystery boxes, that I'm still in the process of using. So I don't have a need for new colors of lipsticks until I go through those, but this is pretty cute. I already made another video talking about everything that has released. Well, maybe not everything. It's very difficult to make a video that covers everything. It's impossible. It's not very hard. It's impossible. But I have a video, maybe it's already up, check in the videos on my channel, about the holiday releases. So I'm going to skip anything holiday related. And frankly, if something comes out after that video is out, it's their loss, you know? They should have released it earlier. So I'm skipping over all of those, and now let me talk about this one, which is a new release from DD Signature Beauties. DD Signature went out of business, or sort of, I mean, I don't really know if they went out of business, as in they communicated that they're going out of business, but they kind of went silent and they sold everything, all the inventory on their site about a year ago. And I never purchased anything from them. They were on my list of things to check out 2022, but they kind of went out, so I never bought anything from them. But they're now back with this 12 handpicked signature shades. Absolutely gorgeous. It's $31, and you can also use someone's code to get some money off. Great palette for this time of the year, but as I've mentioned before, palettes like this I know I can dupe because I have these colors already. But DD Signature is definitely a brand that I would like to try later in the year. Let's also talk about this one from Nomad. So as we know, Nomad announces something today and it's already released by the end of the week. That's kind of how they operate. So they kind of surprised a lot of us when they announced, or maybe they didn't surprise everybody, but I was definitely surprised that they announced they're going to be releasing new things. Now, this is only having a very small eyeshadow palette that's only neutral colors, but with it is coming a face mist and a lip. It's called a lip salve. I'm guessing this is sort of a lip balm or cream or mask type of a thing. There's also a hydration face cream and the tote. Now, beauties, as someone who travels a lot, if you've been following me, you kind of know I don't really talk about it a whole lot. A lot of times if I'm off for a very long time, it could be because I'm traveling, but I have taken at least 7 or 8 flights, or maybe even more this year, 3 or 4 overseas flights. So I definitely understand where they're coming from. These kinds of things are amazing to have on the plane. Now, I rarely want to do my eyeshadows on the plane, but hey, kudos to anybody who whips out an eyeshadow palette and does their shadows on the plane. You're committed. You are committed. So I would totally be the type of customer for this kind of a product. It's only that I'm very picky on what I put on my face. So I would like to read reviews and so on before picking anything up from Nomad on the skincare front. And the eyeshadow palette obviously is very neutral, so not my type of thing, but very nice idea, and I think it's totally on brand. And you all know I'm following Nomad to see what else they're up to. This is already available, beauties. Also, I'm pretty sure with this you can get some money off if you use someone's affiliate code. Let's talk about this one, beauties, because this one released yesterday, which was, well, from the day I'm filming, which was Friday the 13th. And yes, beauties, I'm talking about Glamlight. Now, I don't know what's going on over there at Glamlight. And unless these photos are not doing them justice, this looks very, very similar to this Ghost Face, which also looked very, very similar to the Chucky palette. And beauties, although I've been constantly saying that that Chucky palette needed just a red, like a blood red, and this one has that, I still prefer the Chucky palette. Now, another issue that makes me think that could also be the background color. Like, I feel like the aesthetic is just too similar to the Chucky palette. Maybe they could have done something a little different. The background color could have been different. The designs and the aesthetic could have been different. But of course, the design and aesthetics of pretty much all horror movies and scary movies is the same thing. So that I also understand. If you purchase the whole collection, it comes with a whole lot of things. You know, the hand mirror is kind of cute. There are a few things in here that I'm like, okay. And one thing, beauties, Glamlight has great prices and the quality is pretty good too. And the things that I'm thinking about here are the candle, kind of eyeing that candle, the lip set, as well as the brush set. So I purchased the brush set for the Part 2 collection of Michaela, and I am a fan. I have been using it in a lot of my videos on this channel, and I have been very much enjoying that. So I would totally be somebody who would go pick that brush set up, but I'm gonna wait for sales later this year. At this point in time, during the month of October, the only things I'm gonna pick up are the things that I'm like, I have to have this. And we're gonna get to a few of those that I was just like, I really have to have this. I would like to know your opinion. Do you feel like Glamlight is like overdoing itself by releasing one Chucky collection, one Friday the 13th collection, one Ghostface collection? Do you think they're duping themselves, or do you think it makes sense to have each of these as a separate collection? Let's talk about this one. V Cosmetics. And now I know nothing about V Cosmetics. I've only heard people talk about them here and there, but they are releasing, or is it available? They are releasing this. I don't know if this is already available or not. This thing called Autumn's Decay. Oh, this is available because this is from a few days ago and it says it's launching tomorrow. So this should already be available because this is a gorgeous palette. If you take a look at my custom palette for September, you know that I completely agree that these colors would look amazing for the fall. So I was kind of happy looking at this palette. As I've said before though, not as special to make me run and purchase this, but it's beautiful and I completely understand if this is something you're interested in. It's available if you want to go pick it up. By the way, beauties, I'm also wearing very, very Halloween appropriate earrings. So just letting you all know in case you didn't see that. And today, you know what? I want to try this thing that I have not tried before. This is eyeshadow primer oil from Rude. I purchased this, beauties, from TK Maxx in another country. This is the box it came in, and I've never used it. So let's use this. I'm not even sure how you use this because a lot of my channel is about eyeshadow. I also love trying different kinds of eye primers so that I can talk about them. So you're supposed to put this on bare lids and wait for it to get absorbed. This product had good ratings online, which is why I bought it. You know, I want to try new things for you all. I mean, I don't know if this is new. I've never heard about it. And when I saw it, I was like, I want to try this. And of course, we're going to use this, which is so cute. And it's the mirror that came with the collection. Okay, let's continue while that oil is getting absorbed. This next one I want to talk about, I think a lot of you might wonder if I'm picking up because I'm relatively loyal to this brand, and that is Cosmic Brush's Gothic palette. And I had mentioned in past to buy or not to buys, I'm very curious to see what they have. However, beauties, I was not impressed by what they released. And the reason for that is because I feel like there's a lot of repetition between this and their past palettes. I was looking for something a little bit more up the Chucky palette from Glamlight Alley. With that, I have to say, I know I've been critiquing Glamlight with what they're doing with the Scary Movies palettes, but they're doing a fantastic job overall. It's just, I don't know if we need 3 palettes. I think the way they've gone about it on what colors to put in the palette is absolutely on point. And when I think Gothic, that is kind of what I'm thinking about. Vampire, yes, purple does remind me of cartoons of vampires, but not so much pink. I feel like this could even be sold as a Valentine's Day palette, like a, what do they call it, like grungy Valentine, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, I was not super impressed. And of course, as I said, I felt like this probably has a lot of dupes with their past palettes, and I have all 4 of them. Well, I don't know if they've only released 4, but I have Royal Rose, Serenity, Muse, and Delicious Delights. And even the color that looks like a multichrome, the gold to pink, looks like the multichrome they had in Delicious Delight. So I don't know what's going on. Also, there was a matte black in this palette. Yeah, so I was not super impressed with this palette, and I decided, and another thing with Cosmic Brushes is that it's a UK brand. So if you're ordering from them, you have to pay, a little more for shipping. Now, I don't want to be the person who's complaining why I'm paying for shipping. Of course, they need to deliver things to you, so you have to pay for that service. But, I was like, is this unique enough for me to want to pay that much for shipping just to have this palette? And honestly, it's not. But if you're interested in the palette, it's available, and you can get discount on it if you use people's code. There are a lot of people online who have codes with this brand. I kind of understand where they're coming from, but when I think Gothic, I think red, a variety of reds, and I think also they could have, if they wanted to have it with a twist, they could have done a variety of greens. When you think about Gothic architecture, for example, to me, sort of olive green to sort of murky yellow, I could understand those being colors taken away from Gothic architecture, Gothic artwork. Logic behind why this is Gothic, I don't really understand that well, but that's what they chose to do. So I was on the fence whether I should pick the Gothic palette up or not, just to be the ultimate collector of different things that Cosmic Brushes releases, until another palette released that put my thoughts to an end, and that was this palette. I'm hoping I'm saying the name of this brand correctly. It's called Dia Verun Cosmetics, and this palette is called The Moth and the Moon. The palette has 5 multichromes, 1 shimmer, and 6 mattes. And then if you want to buy the collection, it comes with 3 what they called spectral shards, which are sort of these, it looks like a jelly flakies, like flakies with jelly. Beauties. I picked the whole collection up, and I'll tell you all why. And when I receive the shards, I will test them, and I will tell you all my thoughts about it. This palette released yesterday or the day before. The collection released yesterday or the day before, and it's around $70 the palette, and the collection is around $90-ish. There's a little bit of sale on the collection, and you can also use people's code, beauties. And the reason this palette settled it for me on whether I should pick the Gothic palette up or not is because I have obviously a certain amount of budgets of how many things I can pick up in a month. And also, beauties, that Dia Verun is Monica's brand. She is super active on Instagram in the indie multi-chrome, colorful eye looks space. Frankly, if you've been on a lot of different brands' sites, you might have seen her swatches. She does do amazing swatches of different releases by these indie brands that we know and we love, and now she's launched her own brand. Her Instagram handle is mjones5018, and she has also done collaboration with a lot of brands. She just knows her multichromes, which is why I wanted to support her. I follow her on Instagram, and that was the reason why I was like, I'm picking this up. On top of the fact that, of course, this color story is way more me and makes a lot more sense for me than what released with Gothic. And I'm so excited to receive it and test it for you all. Yeah, those deep matte colors, it is. Looks are going to come up as soon as I receive this. So super excited about that. Let's talk about this one, which is Mayday collection from Martin Cosmetics. Martin Cosmetics, interestingly, is a French brand. I'm liking this release, and beauties. Mayday, to my understanding, is a take on m'aider, which in French means help me. So I was like, this kind of makes sense, you know, French brand kind of playing with this kind of a concept. There's gonna be 9 products in here. You know, we have the palettes, we have the lip stuff, we have the eye stuff, and then the highlighter palette. I have mentioned before that I would very much like to test this brand at some point. Is this going to be the palette that I'm going to use to test the brand? Probably not. I've done a lot of purchases and this palette isn't unique enough, but it's going to happen with Martin Cosmetics at some point. This whole collection should be available already. If you're interested in it, you can go on Martin's website and pick this up. Okay, beauties, let me quickly get started with my eye look. Okay, so just look at this. Isn't this cute? This is just so cute. And then on the back you have Wasn't It Terrifying? It's so cute. I'm gonna get started with this color over here. It's called My Bugs. And obviously, if I didn't mention, the whole palette looks kind of like a coffin. Now that we're talking about glam light brushes, let me use some glam light brushes today. I'm putting this in my crease, and beauties, I want to quickly mention something that came out about a week ago, but I haven't done one of these videos, and that is Clionadh doing another thing similar to what they did last year. If you all remember, they pre-curated 2 9-pan palettes last year with their already existing multichrome collections, and obviously their multichrome collections have expanded since the last year's release. So now they have done 2 new curated 9 pans for you all. If you're interested in that, let me give you a little bit of detail about it. This already came out. These apparently are not going to have any overlap with what they released last year. So in case you picked up something last year during winter when they released the 9 pans and now you want to pick these up, you're not going to dupe anything. But of course, if you have like a whole collection, you're probably going to be duping. You all know I have a lot from stained glass. I probably have 90% of the stained glass collection. So I'm not going to be picking any of these up, but it's very exciting for someone who doesn't have anything to get things that are pre-curated. And I'm assuming they put things that are super popular in these, like Mural, which I know is one of the most popular colors that they have. And then I'm sure they have a few things from their light collection, the Jeweled Multichrome Light that they released earlier in the year. And then also the other one, the Dimensional Multichromes that they released earlier in the year. I know they have a few of those in these, which obviously would not have been in the in the palettes they released last year. I don't have prices here, surprisingly, but it's available. You can go check it out on their website. I think they released last Friday. They also, with these, released a set of 5 nail colors, beauties, and that set has captured my heart. I also think that set is like $26-ish, so it's not super expensive, but probably still not for someone who wears a lot of pressed nail colors. It's super pretty though, and it has potential to be picked up by me. Okay, beauties, I'm gonna use Angelica's number E02 Singe Beauty, and I'm gonna come into this dark color Bone Daddy, and I'm gonna deepen out my outer V. And another thing I want to mention, beauties, is that if you all remember, they had a mixology collection that they released, Cleona, for their lacquers, that they released earlier in the year. Maybe it was released in spring or summer, and like essentially the names had summer drinks names. And they are doing kind of the same thing for fall. They have released a mixology collection fall season, or fall and winter season themed, with the names of the drinks being like mulled wine and hot toddy and things like that, which are winter drinks. And beauties, that collection, there's a few colors in that collection that I'm really keeping an eye out for. I'm thinking they might have a sale during Black Friday, and I would be very interested. Okay, beauties, Apocalypse palette from Clarity Cosmetics apparently has restocked. Didn't they mention last year that this is gone forever? I'm pretty sure they mentioned that, but it seems like it's available for pre-order now, and you can use someone's code if you want to pick it up. I already mentioned this, but I'm so excited about it releasing last week, and I have picked it up. And that is Glaminatrix's Cosmetics Rich Romance palette. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that again. I'm so excited. Let's talk about this one also. Adepts Cosmetics Rainbow Raider Multi-Use Palette, which, okay, I kind of understand this and I kind of don't, because these, multicolored pans, beauties, I'm going to look up and bring this down. Yeah, these multicolored pans, it's not that easy working with them, because you need to make sure you're, if you're using a brush, it's not going into more than the color that you're using. So, it's a lot more of a gimmick, at least based on my experience. Of course, I'm only able to talk about my own experience. There, if you all remember, there was a multichrome pan in the Seahorse palette from Adept, and I did play around with that palette in this channel. I'll put the video in the description box below. I'm just diffusing it with that earlier brush. Yeah, these marbled shades to me are always more aesthetically pleasing and a gimmick than actually working amazingly. But of course, when the pan is larger, it's easier to control where the brush head is going. So maybe this is easier to work with, but this isn't something I'm gonna go pick up. But it's available, it's released on the 10th, and you can use someone's code. And this is Beauty's a limited edition item. Let's quickly talk about this one also. Shake Your Ghoul thing. Kind of cute, and I very much like the color story, the neon green, everybody. So cute, and it kind of looks from the swatches like this palette is going to have a few multichromes, right? The green and the sort of the green teal, and then the gold to greenish, which is nice. I have already tested NBA Cosmetics, and right now I'm in the process of trying to test other brands, but this is a very colorful palette, and it's exciting to see this come out from NBA Cosmetics. This is already available, and you can get some money off if you use someone's code. I very much like the Creepin' It Real. And I like the names. The Creepin' It Real, the gunmetal color shimmer at the bottom left hand side. Very nice color. This is the glitter primer from BH Cosmetics. I did not know this is a glitter primer. It's called Base Booster, and I've been using it as a base. But then I realized it says glitter and shadow glue, so I don't know. It's pretty tacky. So I'm gonna use this one instead of NYX today. And we're gonna put it here. And I'm deciding between the green, which is very sort of teal, and the gold. Let me swatch the gold better. Let's do gold. Yeah, the gold is kind of antique gold. It's not as like bright gold, which is kind of nice. And in fact, it kind of looks like it has a little bit of green in it. I always have fat finger action, It always has to get out of the borders. So one issue that I have with these darker shades is that they can be a little streaky. you know, and then they could not apply as smoothly on the lip, and your lip really needs to be super scrubbed and primed and smooth. I unfortunately always have chapped lips. You all probably have seen them in past videos even, so that is something to think about if you're buying these. Let's put a little bit of this highlighter because I am so excited for having it. This is super, super cute. It has Jack and Sally on it. I'm going to use a little bit of it. This is a very interesting color because it has a gold hue from some angle, a pink hue from some angle, even a green hue from some angle. I'm hoping the video is capturing it. I'm going to put some on my nose. Okay, that's a little too much. And Cupid's bow. Beauties, let this be the last thing I talk about. And I know some people are very excited about this, and that is the gift card event from Beautylish. This is the semi-annual gift card event. I've actually never been in this event, but from my understanding, you can earn gift cards if you are first in line to purchase something, or if you're first to purchase something. So I know I have heard about it from other people, and I know a lot of people are very excited about it. And then you have the possibility of getting gifts or special bundles, or even discounts of like 50% off and so on. I know a lot of people are excited about this, so if you want to take advantage of it, join their launch list. And with that, we come to the end of the video. Thank you, beauties, for being here with me. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, as always, give me a thumbs up so that I know. If you're not subscribed and you watched this far, please subscribe to my channel. I feel like you probably like this kind of content. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. And until next time, bye.